Hi, I'm going to talk to you today about volume management in ORS, and Universal Platform provides a ORS management set of tools, and the one we're going to look at today is specifically the volume management component, which is available free on store. Once you've downloaded it, you can go to Universal Console Update, add the package, and as you see we have it here. You can review and update. Okay, we've already installed it. Once installed, simply create a user credential for Amazon ORS, and we define our access keys and secrets there. We don't really need a username, so just put anything in there. Once the user credential is created, add an extension and assign a region and assign a user credential to that connector. And don't forget, while you're here, to turn on the methods that you want to support. Once we have a connector established with a user credential, we can go into pipelines and orchestrate some activity. So we're just going to create a new pipeline, and this pipeline we're going to call volume management. We're going to filter on volume, and here we can list volumes. You'll notice in the output we've got several snapshots that have actually occurred, different sizes, different dates. Okay, so there's multiple records. Now what we can do is we can look at tidying up these records through a template. And what templates do is just allow us to manipulate that data to make it a little bit more attractive. Okay, I'm just going to save at this point because I want to talk to you about templates in terms of how we're going to define this template. And you'll notice here in terms of our output we've got these values such as description, volume ID, size, data output. Okay, so I'm just going to go into Interface Manager, and I'm going to templates, and you create a new velocity template or any one of your choice, and this one I've already pre-created. Okay, it's got nothing really in it, so what we're going to do is we're going to set the output that you saw on this screen here to a value. So this is main record is equal to the data, so it's that data, and then for each we can call it child in main record. We're going to do something. So what we can do here is we can do child dot description, and child dot description will be this description here. So if we bind the data, which is output from list volumes or volume snapshots, to the data of the template and assign the template and run it, you'll notice how it formats the data. So once again we've got the data that's coming from the list operation, and in the template we've just got descriptions. Okay, now what we can do is we can build in other components. So what we might want is snapshot ID. So we can come to our template and we can put things like description and snapshot ID, and that's going to be child dot snapshot ID. Now if we run this again, we get a slightly different output. Now what we can do is we can actually email it off to ourselves. I don't really have a really big screen at the moment. I'm just going to bind in the data. So we're going to bind in the data that comes out of the template, the stuff over here, and we're going to push it into our email. So we're going to say the template result is actually the body of our email. Inside our email, we're just going to give it an additional subject. That prefix comes from Universal Console General Network. It's predefined there. And we cover it in another video, and I'm just going to email it off to myself. That's busy running. Longest part is sending the email, and if we go and search our email, so this was one from previous, delete that, search, there's a result there. Okay, what we also provide inside the volume snapshot feature is deletion of volumes, which takes a volume ID, and we support creation of a snapshot as well. So we give it the volume ID and we give it a name, so you can automate some of that activity. Thank you for listening. Have fun.